रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः. Kishkindha Kand, chapter number 26, the coronation of Sugriva. The recitation begins now. The ministers and other officers of state stood round their new king as he, in a single wet garment, raised expectant eyes of hopeless grief to his benefactor. Next, they approached Rama of matchless valor. Even as the Maharishis bent low before Brahma, they joined hands of humble reverence and saluted the giver of all good to created beings. Then Hanuman, his face was radiant like the morning sun, and his body shone like a mountain of gold. That Hanuman turned to Rama and said, "Lord, Sugriva has come back to his own, thanks to your grace. He awaits your orders to enter Kishkindha and attend to the work that lies before him. Give him leave to take his purificatory bath and render you meet reverence and worship with perfumes, plants of occult properties, gold, gems, garlands, and garments. May it please you to grace the capital with your presence, place a crown on his head, and gladden the hearts of the monkey world." And to him replied the son of Dasharatha, "My dear boy, I have my father's commands to abide for twice 7 years in the wild forests and avoid hamlets, villages, and cities. Sugriva may proceed to Kishkindha and receive the crown of his forefathers." The prince, who was conversant with the rights and duties of all classes, then turned to Sugriva, who was adorned with strength, valor, generosity, and purity of life, and other noble excellences, and said, "Friend, Angada is a son of your brother and equal to you in valor and other noble excellences. I deem him fit to be a crown prince and would have you install him as such. It is now the month of Ashada that ushers the rainy season. The coming 4 months preclude any possibility of instituting a search for Sita or of making war upon Ravana. So abide the while at Kishkindha. My brother and I will make this mountain cave our home. Broad and spacious, it is well ventilated and healthy, and it is almost hid by trees of fragrant leaf and blossom. The month of Kritika might be spent in collecting your forces and in searching for Sita. Let this understanding hold between us. Now repair to Kishkindha to receive the crown of the monkey world and be the fountain of all good and happiness to your friends and subjects." "Upon my head and eyes be it," said Sugriva in low reverence, and proceeded to his capital, where he was welcomed by the monkey lords, who waited to offer him homage. Ministers, generals, and other officers of state prostrated themselves before him and clasped his feet. Sugriva bade them rise up, spoke to them kindly, and honored them according to their rank and status. They crossed their hands over their breasts and stood before him with covered mouths, awaiting his orders. He dismissed them with gracious words and entered his harem. He very soon won his way into the heart of Tara and the other royal ladies and gave orders to prepare for his coronation. His friends and kinsmen busied themselves about it most joyfully, even as the shining ones engaged themselves in the coronation of Indra, their lord. They held over his head the snow-white royal umbrella worked with gold and waved on either side white chameras with golden handles. Next, they brought in various gems, seeds, medicinal plants, shoots and flower of milk trees, white garments, camphor and spices, fragrant garlands, ground lotuses, fine sandal paste, aguru and other perfumes, rice grains dyed yellow with saffron, ingots of gold, barley, honey, ghee, curds, shoes of tiger and boar skin, unguents, Gorochana and Manasilla, red arsenic. 16 damsels, perfect of form and feature, were kept ready. Then the Brahmanas were presented with gifts of gems, garlands, and cakes. The kusha grass was spread and the sacred fire lit, and oblations of ghee and milk were poured into it. The royal palace was gaily decorated with garlands, festoons, and arches. The priests placed the royal throne of gold facing the east, sanctifying it with many a rite and many a mantra. Costly rugs and coverlets were laid upon it. Gaj, Gavaksh, Gavai, Sharabha, Gandhamadan, Mend, Dvivid, Hanuman, Jambavan, Nala, and other monkey lords bore golden pitchers of water from sacred rivers, lakes, and ocean, and poured them over the head of Sugriva through vessels of gold and bull's horns, even as Bodhayana and other Maharishis have laid it down. It was a grand sight, the coronation of Sugriva, even as the celestial hosts celebrating the accession of Devendra, and the monkeys rent the air with acclamations and shouts of joy. Sugriva followed the dictates of Rama, clasped Angada to his heart in loving embrace, and installed him as heir apparent. Thereat, the monkey world lauded Sugriva to the skies and poured many a blessing on the heads of Rama and Lakshmana. Their hearts were strangely drawn to the orphan Angada, whom their late king had entrusted to their care. The city was adorned with flags, banners, garlands, triumphal arches, and gay festoons, and resounded to the joyful shouts and song and dance of countless monkeys. Sugriva faithfully reported everything to Rama and, like Indra of yore, recovered the kingdom and the wife he had counted as lost to him forever. Mangalam Koshlendraya Mahaniya Gunavti Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.